Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745, and we can all blame Lum, or Lumberer 3, that I'm going to play Ethiopia. Now, I don't know how long this game is going to last because we're at war with Ethiopia. As Ethiopia, we're at war with Italy, boy. And so we're going to play that. Now, give a little background. Italy is Italy's a very new country. And you go, yeah, but Gamer, the Colosseum is very old. Yeah, that's Rome. And there are some rather old countries there, like the Kingdom of Naples, the Republic of Venice. You know, there's some very old countries there, but the Kingdom of Italy is a new country. Was the term for the invasion of Ethiopia. So yeah, there was an earlier, much earlier, around 1880s or something, invasion of Ethiopia. And I should prepare these things beforehand, but of course not, because this is blame Lum in the middle of stream that we're doing this. And so Italy wants to be a great nation. And what do great nations have? Empires. Okay, so they're busy trying to build up an empire after unifying themselves under Garibaldi. He's not the king, he's the sort of driving force. It's currently the reign of Victor Emmanuel II, I believe, in Italy. And so they're trying to build up an empire, and what under the fascists they call the fourth shore, the sort of, I don't know which one's 2 and 3, but east, west, south shore of Italy, and this is the fourth shore. And they've been doing that, and also, so they're picking up not terribly popular parts of the world down here. And Mussolini wants to recreate the great Roman Empire, wants more empire, and wants a training war as well. So he, and this is one of 2 non-European colony territories, and the only basically old consecutive rulership country in all of Africa that had not been, and only is briefly conquered by Italy, and during, from 1936 until 1941 did the British finally kick them out. And of course, after they get rid of Haile Selassie, is it conquered by the Soviets? I don't know. The other country, which is set up as under President Monroe, set up as a place for former black slaves in America who want to move back to Africa. Liberia, which means like liberty, freedom. And they set up a two-class system, American blacks on top, Africans on the bottom. So, but Ethiopia has been a continuous, I'm not saying there hasn't been shifts in royal families, but sort of a continuous kingdom since almost back, I think, Sheba was a real person, the Queen of Sheba, and King David of Jerusalem. So I don't know if it's quite that continuous, I should say, back to that time period, but it's sort of like that, and they've remained free. Mary Nostrum and rebuild Rome. Well, we're talking right now, of course, with Ethiopia. Wasn't the Third Ethiopian War? I'm not sure. And the kingdom claimed to be, yes, it's, oh, yes, no, you're right, it's Solomon and Bathsheba, not David. Solomon, boy, you're right, Jaden. Yes, absolutely, yes, and they do claim to be descendants of that. Now, I don't know how because, hey, there, go back that far, you could have, 100,000 people descendants of the Queen of Sheba, but yes. Well, still spears both. Of course, they had guns, but not enough. Yes, David, Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Yeah, I believe it is Solomon. Um, you're right. You're right. Again, I'm not preparing anything. I'm just going off of fuzzy memory right now. So yes, and there is a very strong tradition that the Ark of the Covenant may have come to Ethiopia. Definitely the Ethiopians believe it. I believe an ark did come to Ethiopia. Now, is it the one and only Ark of the Covenant, or I believe something was taken from, the kingdom of Israel or kingdom of Judah, whichever. Which was the big one? Does anybody remember? I think it's Judah is the big one. The small kingdom is Israel. They both existed at the same time at one point. Okay, we have somebody here. Yeah, followers. No, thank you. I do think some sort of ark did come to Ethiopia, but I don't know if it was meant to be, a counterfeit or just a symbolic thing, or whether it was the real one. But we're sort of just fuzzily putting it in. But I want to stress that this is a legit country and legit civilization. This isn't a bunch of tribal groups. Now, there are tribal groups in and around what is Ethiopia, and this does actually help the Italians because there are particularly Muslim-based tribes and ethnic groups that are anti the Christian Ethiopians. And since, so they sort of decide to side with Mussolini against Ethiopia for hopefully better situation under Italian rule than Judah. Judah's the bigger one? Okay, because Israel and Judah were both at the same time. I forget which. At least for a while, they were existing at the same time. Oh, thank you, Arno. And those of you on, of course, YouTube can subscribe, and those on Twitch can follow, and I will be streaming only on Twitch tomorrow for YouTube. So if you want to catch, and that'll be War Thunder tomorrow for the drops, and I'll be doing that tomorrow. If you want to follow the links over there. So this is a legit non-European government that has survived on its own. It has almost zero industrial base, though. We will see, and I wanted to say all this before we got. We're still clicked on Liberia. Before we got over here, as sort of saying lots of there. I mean, as in a modern industrial situation, there are spears and bows and whatnot, but they're other than sort of what we would think of as blacksmithing, no sort of metalwork beyond that. And so all of their arms, all of their ammo is imported. So we will see how this goes. Now in 1935, and we've jumped up more almost to current time period, Mussolini wants to expand his empire, so he invades Ethiopia because he believes it's easy pickings. Going for either French or British territories is sort of out of the question because in 1935, Italy's primarily allied with correct checksum. Okay. Oh, hell, what the hell are we getting all this crap for? This is what we were facing yesterday. These error dogs and crap. Mm. That was a nice intro too. Um, I don't think I forgot. Maybe it didn't work right. I may be able to fix that, but well, we're just going to keep going here because I don't want to. Let's see if I can fix this quick in this episode. You can jump forward if you don't want to watch the black screen. Okay. Let's move you to here. Move. Right. Move to there. Okay. Well, let's again. Because maybe maybe the other thing is sitting there causing problems. Yeah. Let's come to mods, manage playset. Okay, I want to make. Oh, not ice is still being shown. He's here. Oh, damn. This is what really sort of was giving me problems earlier. Why is it having not ice here? Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can do this without black ice. Just plain vanilla Ethiopia. Well, it's not that I don't want to do such things. It just I don't have any. Okay, done. Play. See if we can get this without any problems. Well, I edited something for the last co-op thing we just released, the end of that co-op series, Lum, so I do edit things sometimes. And it looks like vanilla is working. Yay. Maybe we're just facing a lot of bugs with black ice. Okay, single player. New game, January 36. Okay, other countries, select. Yes, okay, I will have hopefully edited out everything. All of that. Welcome sort of back, fellow armchair generals. We will hopefully have edited out the skipped portion of it. So back to where I was. Mussolini, Italy, is primarily allied with France and the United Kingdom, left over from World War I, of course. And it being a fascist nation wasn't overly upsetting to France and Britain. I'm not exactly sure why. It wasn't seen as if hey, yeah, our best buddies, Weimar Germany, and we're, France or United Kingdom. Oh, Hitler's now in charge. The Nazis are there, and we just roll with it. No, which probably would be inappropriate. Or if the communists took over, they probably wouldn't just roll with it. But they did with fascist Italy, which would allow you to join the Allies. I don't know. Don't know, Arno. Never played Ethiopia before. Now, from some of the writing at the time, I do know people were concerned about fascist Italy, and I'm talking, in the 1920s and early 30s. But fascist Italy wasn't doing anything terribly outrageous. It still, which would sort of allay fears in Britain. And trust me, I know we sort of jumped back a bit, but we're all getting to Ethiopia here. Allay fears in that it was still a monarchy. Victor Emmanuel II was still king of Italy. Although a lot of the other leftist parties were banned, there was still some conservative parties, and then there was the fascist party. And in France, of course, you had various fascist and socialist factions all vying for control. So that being just sort of Italy fascist, that wasn't a big concern. And like I say, Italy really hadn't been doing anything terribly strange. Now, in 1935, Mussolini is getting concerned with this rising new power to the north of this National Socialist Germany under Hitler. And the British were monarchies. Yes, the British were monarchies. Yes, that's right. And they were, Italy gained territory, mostly at the expense of Austria. And I'm not just saying Austro-Hungarian Empire, but from Austria, from it. And so, from the end of World War I. And so they're quite concerned about a rise of Hitler. So Mussolini is negotiating this, and I think it's February. This is jumping ahead of 1936, I think it is. He signs, and he's also a bit concerned with the Allies allowing German rearmament. And first, the taking back of the Saarland, not militarizing the Rhineland yet, because that hasn't happened yet, but taking back the Saarland and pushing the French out there, he's getting concerned. So he sets up, or he's setting up and has signed, I think it's in February, what is called the Three Powers Pact. And it is specifically, and he's concerned that the French and the British won't back up Italy. He's already getting concerned about that. And he looks to his north and sees, hey, there's a fascist Austria. The Fatherland Front was most assuredly a fascist party, and a rather authoritarian Kingdom of Hungary. And so he sets up the Three Powers Pact as specifically an alliance against Adolf Hitler's Germany, in which the sort of buffer state is Austria, but Hungary and Italy will come to Austria's aid basically if Germany attacks. Because there was no real, sure, Germany could, fly some airplanes, which, of course, they don't really officially have a Luftwaffe yet, over some Alps and try to bomb Italy, but that's not really anything yet. And they could theoretically sail some ships around, but Italy's navy would crush anything Germany sends into the Mediterranean at this time. So it's mostly an anti-invasion of Austria pact. Okay, so he's setting this up, but he wants to come in, and he doesn't think he's going to get a lot of pushback from his allies, Britain and France, about taking Ethiopia. Now, this is where he makes his mistake. They do get upset, and in 1935 establish an embargo for all League of Nations. Every member of the League of Nations cannot trade anything with Italy except one product. Can anybody guess what the one product is, or do they know? I'll give you time to answer there. You can put it in the chat below. And I doubt you can. Yep, Jaden got it. Oil. The one thing that people could still sell Italy was oil, which is probably the one thing. No, they were the exporters of pizza. They didn't import pizza. Is the one thing that you could still sell to Italy was oil. They'd yet to find any of the real oil deposits down in Libya yet, so they didn't know that Italy was sitting on an oil-rich country, and that probably would have crippled Mussolini's war effort. So there is an embargo put on in late 1935, slightly before this, against Italy because of the invasion of Ethiopia. And so we are now down here, and we are facing an Italian invasion. Emperor Haile Selassie is, of course, our emperor. We have the standard read. Damn, this looks so minimal. Okay, can we last 70 days to even do research? 100% research bonus for an industry. Political efforts and political power. Liberty versus, yeah, that's useless. Naval, of course, is out of it. Well, I guess industrial effort is about the only thing that could even possibly be useful. Okay, somehow we are building basic infantry equipment. I don't understand how. Just to make a straight line in your nation, yes. To the yes, industry is what's needed. Now, like I did say, they weren't making their own rifles, and that looks like a Carcano to me, which they did not use the Italian rifles to the best of my knowledge. I think they were mostly importing Mausers. And that's taking all of my 2 industrial points. Okay, research. We have 2 research slots. Support equipment. That looks like it would be useful. Let's see, what kind of aircraft do we want to research? No. We're not going to build it. I don't even know if we have the time to do my normal sort of production caps. I think that will be if we get 121 days. Support equipment. Do we even want to make support equipment? I think better weapons. Okay, well. Oh, no free slots to build anything. Okay. Well, where's this Addis Ababa? Okay, there. Okay, so we can't even, I mean, we can't get it through an event, but we can't build any more factories. So what we're going to do is come here in Addis Ababa, try to fortify our capital with 1. People demand rifles first. Mass assault. Is that a better choice? 2 doctrines. Training. Yep, I think that's maybe a better choice. No, we don't want to do it. We want to... We gotta make sure we click on the right one before we come in. The rifle. There we go. Yes, more rifles. Okay, now. You're right about the mountain line. Okay. Desert, mountains, mountains. You fall back to there. Okay, hills, mountains. Yes, we're gonna use the mountains as best we can instead of try to hold the borders. But what's worrying me is down here. So I don't want to extend my line. Because to hold everything is to hold nothing, but in this game you sort of have to hold some things or they'll just get... You're going to stay here because you've got a river and mountains defending you. You come back into the mountains here. And we can still fall back one more. Yeah, let's move one of your divisions here. Other two this way. If we even give up that province, that would give us a line of 3 mountain provinces there. And if you're holding there, these guys could maybe fall back here. That leaves open Addis Ababa. So okay, so we're retreating back now. Don't know how we use any of our convoys, but okay. Let's look at these. Okay, bunch of infantry division, less infantry. And a mountain division. I like the mountain division. It'll take longer, I know, but if we have any chance of holding out. Insufficient resources, we need steel. We don't even have an air force. What happened to the Ethiopian Air Force? They had one. Wasn't much of an air force. United States, Great Britain, would that help? Well, I don't think they're going to come into the war. I don't think, since they're not in my faction, I don't know if we can... ask for any sort of lend-lease or anything. So yeah, that's... Yeah, just retreat the hell out. Just run away, guys. Run away. I never did check out and see if a fresh start would get rid of those error dog messages that we were having. I was presuming it was because we were loading in the mod, but now I wonder about that. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have a commander that we can give everybody? Did they give us an Ethiopian commander? There we go. Now we got an Ethiopian commander. Let's give it a better color. There we go. Hey, the mountain division is back to here. We're probably going to lose one of our industrial slots here. I don't know. Best of my knowledge, there were limited attempts to get weapons into Ethiopia, but nothing that would have changed the outcome to the best of my knowledge. Well, yeah, you come to there. You fall back to here. If we lose this province, they can attack either here or here, and it opens up our front more. So 3 divisions here holding behind the river. We should be getting... Does it look like we are not getting any river defense bonuses? Huh? Oh no, they are. Yeah, river crossing. There we go. Yeah. Eventually they'll be able to attack this from 2 or 3 directions. Okay, you're here. You're in the mountains. A little worried about that, so let's... From there. left. Not exactly sure. Oh, the river. Yeah, penalties. Okay, let's see. We're currently. Are we still building? With one factor, when is this likely to be done? April 36. Okay, well, since we're getting that, we're going to move you into the capital. Just defend directly the capital. They'll stay here. So we're currently building 8.44 guns a day. Not that I know of. We're landlocked, and they don't. Yeah, no, there's just really basically nothing. Again, blame Lum for this. Yep, no orders are assigned. New commander, cost 5. Well, there we go. Now we have this guy here. Desert Fox, Marsh Leader, Division Recovery, Attack. Well, unable to promote. Need 22 more command points. You know, there is, well, this interesting that they don't. Do the people at Paradox ever look at a map? Well, obviously they've looked at a map, but do they ever? Ogden down here, or however you pronounce it. This is basically the Ogden Desert out here, people. This is desert nomad type territory. Definitely here. Now, I know we've seen a famine and whatnot here in Ethiopia that may seem like a desert to everybody, but I don't know if it was there. But this whole interior here is most assuredly desert. And you're getting up into the mountains, don't know if you want to quite go to, hey, this is desert or not, but okay, they're still getting their river penalty. Attacking, so we get the mountain division coming. You're in the mountains, you're coming there, you're going to reinforce those guys. Looks like you're going to escape into the capital, which will also be held by this good division. These are out here holding the flanks. Well, blame, credit, however you want to call it. Blame Lum. Mountains are just deserts without sand? No, because you can have jungle mountains. You can have forested mountains. No, that's not true at all. I know some temperate rainforests that, yeah, at least hills. Maybe not quite mountains. And not all mountains need to be, you know, the bare Arctic kind of non-inhabited type mountains. Just need to get mountain enough that it's more than hills. And it's sure, yeah, certainly, here, certainly the top peaks may be sort of, well, depending, because it could be dry, so they could be deserts. But enough of the terrain, the valleys could be quite full of life and water and warm or cold or whatever. It doesn't. Deserts is not a requirement to be determine what's going on. Okay. Oh, also the Ethiopians didn't have helmets. Some of them were uniformed units, yes. Most weren't, at least not what we would consider a uniform in the modern sense. So you're thinking right like here? Yeah. But so far we're doing okay. I don't, depending on what, defend, attack. Yes, soup. How is our construction? Oh, what? Focus on this, people. It is done April 36 still. Let's speed this up a little bit here. Now the main rail line, I think at this time, comes in from Djibouti into Addis Ababa. Let's just hear what they have to say. No, nothing I want to care about. Yeah. Well, they got 4 divisions pushing against R2, and up here they got 3 against R3. And otherwise, they're not attacking too much. And yes, we're speeding this up a little bit more. Yes, we're at war. I know it. We've had 168 casualties, and Italy has just had 18. Wow. They've hardly had any. Okay, they're pushing here now with how many divisions in this fight? One division. Wow, we're down to 2,800 negative K. Small arms equipment. Okay, you've fallen back. And you march back into there, and you come back into there. That you're much more organized. Maybe you can get in before they collapse here in Gondor. Gondar, I should say. There we go. I'm pushing these guys back. Okay, yeah, you fall back to here now. You fall back to there. Well, this is held over here. Okay, 6 divisions here. Well, let's pause this. Send you to there. And you to there. If they swing all the way around here, you can hold on that river flank. They're jumping those guys again. And here and here. Industrial effort. Remilitarizing the Rhineland? Okay, cool. Well, I think we want to do armament. Forget anything. We will take some arms. Oh, I think I could promote the guy up now. Yep. There we go. Hopefully better command structure. There we go. Oh, the Italians brought in tanks. At least what they think of her as tanks. This is getting critical. Because these divisions I hope will hold. Well, let's send you back this way now. Send you into there. There we go. Second London Naval Treaty. And how does that help Ethiopia? I don't know. Support weapons, yay, that'll be helpful. Okay. We have support weapons now, which fortunately does not cause us any more production needs because we don't have them. We're doing that. We get 100% bonus, 63 off production or construction speed. Efficiency cap plus 10%. 63 days. Well, let's do that. Thought of the mighty, Italian tank cats. Well, if you don't have any sort of tanks or even any anti-tank weapons of note, I'm not saying they did sort of improvise, I think, sort of like running at them with explosives or something, but without anything at note, they have some effect. Positive to your side. What goes the war? We've lost 13,000, they've lost 6,000 so far. Now, I want to keep this province here particularly, because that would allow these guys to potentially, fall back this way. Now here, this may not be as critical, actually, armament effort, but I didn't want to give it up without any sort of fight. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Let's add another factory here. And yet, we're going to do another armament effort. We set on the losses. 15,000 versus 8,000 to the Italians. Which I think is a lot more than they lost in the actual war. I don't think they lost 8,000 people. They lost in the hundreds, maybe low thousands. Most of it was logistical problems, not much in the way of, okay. You fall back into here. And you come back into here. We lose the capital, everything's done. Oh, wait a minute, pause. We should be able to, oh, I thought we were getting this done this year. Oh, no factories assigned to the construction. Oh, we've lost too much of the province to have construction, damn it. I was hoping to get that. Hey, thank you for following. Well, we're going to end this episode here of our Ethiopian campaign, and I hope you will come back next time to see how long we can hold out. Thank you so much. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.